So what have you done for the first half of the year? I did a short on this and many of you well responded, and I'm sure it's hitting you hard in your mind, in your heart as well, in terms of what have you accomplished so far in the first half of the year. We still have some months to go, of course, and you can start prepping for your 2024 now. There's no need for you to wait and try to stall on things. And if you're not exactly where you want to be, just know that it's not too late. The thing is shifting your mind state is more important to help you get there. Building that motivation, and I know it's hard, it's difficult, trying to find that ability to just be able to get up and just be able to move forward. But it's not something that is unrealistic. You can do it. What you do, you have to unlock in your brain, what is the first thing that I need to do to make myself go over that next hump, to find that motivation and that spark and that fire that I need to move forward. For me, I can speak from my experience and what I'm working on right now. There's a lot of investments that I wanted to do. I wanted to have another acquisition of another property. However, it's not happening. I'm still working towards it. I remember I was working with one lender and they told me I couldn't qualify for this loan, and I had to kind of think back, sit back and be like, you know what, I'm going to look for other options. And I had 3 other options that became available to me, and right now I'm working through those. But the market is tough because you're fighting against sellers who don't want to fix nothing. You're fighting against people who are also cash buyers, so it's a little hard to to get into. But I'm not stalling. I'm trying to keep myself moving forward and also investing. There are alternatives as well, right? You have the stock market, which you can buy and sell. There's never a shortage of stocks that are available. It's just the price that you are paying for it. If it's at a high, you're going to be paying a premium, but if it's at a low, you get it at a discount, so you can load up on it. Right now, the economy is pretty much at a flat pace. I feel it has rised up a bit. Like one of my retirement portfolio is up 30% in all time so far, and it's only 2 years old at the moment, which I think I've done pretty good because I'm beating the 10% goal that I've wanted to reach for myself. And I also have another small investment account which is up 20%. That one I opened last year. So those are small goals that I find to be attainable. You do these little things, and although the other goals that you're working towards are not coming into prominent, you still have time to work towards them. And I'm keep pushing through. I also have my business that I'm trying to expand. So working with the government and the whole government space, doing government contracting, is not something that's easy at all. There's several certifications I've had to apply for, applications I have to do to be inside a particular system, to give myself a fair competing advantage. Because once I'm smaller, I'm not one of those big corporations which with a whole tons of clientels and all this experience. So I have to start at a smaller scale. The good thing, the Small Business Administration does allow for that to happen. They do have certain programs to help smaller starting businesses be at a better competitive advantage, because that helps the economy, stimulates. Most of the companies that are existing in the United States are operated by small business, right? Most people that are employed. The labor market is more fueled by that, so they encourage for that growth to happen rather than just a few corporations that are just dominating things because there's just too much controls. They don't think that helps stimulate the economy. So those are some things that I'm working on to push through. And in terms of one other things that I think a lot of people get stuck on is also health. I try to make sure I'm doing things to take care of my health every day. Eating fruits, implementing fruits into my diet. Something that I started last year, and I'm continuously doing it as well. Making sure I'm eating certain proportions. Make sure I'm not eating after a certain time. Giving my body enough time to digest, so that way I can be at a better shape and retain that. And if that's one of the goals that you struggle with, just know that you can do it. It's small baby steps, and you can eventually get there as well. And I'm also exercising as often as I can. Of course, sometimes I feel like I need more cuts and everything, but you keep working towards that, right? It's like that's vision that you have. If you want to look a certain way, you can build towards that. And you got to think about, if you had set that goal last year, we are now in July, it is still attainable because you still have 2024, 2025 to worry about. It's never really too late. Those are some of the things that many of us struggle with, and just know that you can do it. It just takes small baby steps, and it takes you finding that really source of encouragement, and that source of encouragement sometimes it deviates from where it comes from. For us, many of us have different backgrounds, different historical within our lives that we find stimulation from. And to be able to find that, that's what you got to look for. You got to see what can help you stimulate that motivation and look for that thing. And once you're able to get that thing, keep working towards finding the next thing to keep that energy flowing, to be consistent. Don't overdo things, of course. And when it comes to like eating or exercising, and you're trying to get yourself into a diet or trying to get yourself into an exercise routine in the beginning, take those baby steps. It's slow. It doesn't happen overnight. Because if you do it, you're going to crash and burn, and you most likely will probably hate it. Like, really hate it. I didn't start working three times a week out of nowhere. I remember when I was going to school at one point, I was doing 1 day a week, right? Slowly getting there. But then after that, I made a devotion that I'm going to try to do this a few more times a week. And then eventually I got there, and it became practical in my life, where now if I miss a day, I feel like I'm not moving at a normal pace. I feel off. My whole day is off balance. Same thing with my dieting. If I don't have the fruits in the morning, it throws my whole day off now, because I got into this routine. I turned it into a habit pretty much. And it only takes a few weeks for you to do something a few times a week for it to really become a habit. But you got to psych yourself to get there initially. That's the effort that you got to take to actually get there, because it's a hard thing to just snap into out of nowhere. But if you try to go 0 to 100 in the beginning, I don't encourage that at all. I think you got to slowly take baby steps to get there. And as I'm trying to build the business as well, there's so many resources, so many things. It could be overwhelming when you're trying to expand, but I'm doing baby steps. I built relationship right now with the USDA, right? That they do a lot of the food administration, agriculture, and all that stuff. So I'm speaking with one person and building relationship with her. There are other government sectors I can tap into, but I feel like if I went into all of them at once, I would be overwhelming myself, and I wouldn't be really trying to learn the things at a new one. So take the time to really build up. Another thing I've been able to accomplish for myself is these Christian covers. Music I've been working on since probably like 2021. So when COVID got to its like midpoint, I was doing these like worship at home instrumentals, and then I got all of them recorded. That was first step. The next thing is trying to find vocalists. I couldn't get people that I knew to actually get it done, and I've reached out to a couple of artists. So you know what? I said I'm gonna hop on Fiverr, see who's interested, and it happened. And then slowly I was able to accomplish all 10 songs that I've worked on. I recorded the instrumentals for with actual people. The next step after that, I now had to get the videos done of us working on this together, so that way people can actually see it. And then after that, I said, I'm going to show people the process of me breaking down the songs and hope people take interest, because instead of me rushing, just releasing one song here, one song there, one song there, I want to slow it down a little bit so you understand and get to know me, how I work, and get to know my world a lot more, right? So these are different strategies in terms of trying to figure out how do you get to your goal that you're trying to attain to. And this is 2 years, right? We are in 2023, 2 years in the making, but I'm on nobody's timing. I eventually got there, and that's what you got to keep pushing through and work there. I didn't sit around in 2020 and be like, man, I should have did this last year and it wasn't done. But I slowly did what I could at the time at a pace that I was comfortable with, and now 2 years later I can look back and be like, I got all this done, and now I'm able to actually release it to the world, and it's a great feeling. That's why I don't ever feel like it's too late for you to start anything and push through. We are halfway through the year. Don't give up on yourself. Just keep pushing through and pursuing the goals that you're trying to attain, and set attainable goals. Don't try to go way over the board. And if you're trying to go over the board, set realistic time. Like even me doing this whole YouTube channel, it's about a year old now, right now at this moment. I don't expect to get to a certain level for the next 7 years. I expect for me to be putting a lot of work for the next 7 years for me to get to maybe 1 million subscribers. But it's okay. But I'm working towards that every single day as much as I can and put in the efforts. So really think about what is it that you're trying to attain and you're trying to reach to, and what are the baby steps you can take to get there, right? If you are trying to go 0 to 100, give yourself enough time. Don't try to do it overnight and over a couple of days. So just want to encourage you today to strive through and do that in everything that you're building up. don't forget your investment. Do not neglect that, because we all need money to do things and maneuver around, of course. So everything that you do, as passionate as you offer it, always try to build that investment, that nest egg that you want to be able to have grow, right? Whether that's in ETF, stocks, crypto, mutual funds, just keep building that up furthermore. Your retirement as well, if you're able to contribute towards that, do that. Health savings account, those are all great investment vehicles. Real estate, another great one, right? If you are able to buy something, as tough as the market is right now, interest rates are at 7%. For me, that's 8%. Everything I calculate to make sure that I give myself enough buffer. It's not that great right now. It's very tough. But there are opportunities which you can find. You just got to keep sourcing and keep looking. It's just a lot harder. I haven't found anything yet, but I'm keep working on it until the opportunity opens up. Then I'm ready, because I was right there. I got all my affairs together, financials, my lenders, my realtors, and also the capital that I need, the down payment, in order for me to move forward. So don't neglect these things. Continue building towards these things as much as you can. So peace and love. I hope you found this insightful. Like, share, subscribe. If you have any questions for me, definitely drop it in the comments below, and I shall see you next time. Peace.